A user reports that they cannot connect to any websites, but they can ping their router. What is the most likely cause? Faulty hard drive, printer queue overload, incorrect display driver, full recycle bin, or DNS server issue. And if we are talking about website, you should know straight away, and if you understand how websites work, how IPs work, and you should understand it in this Core 2 exam, for this Core 2 exam, then you would know this answer straight away that this is DNS server issue. For example, DNS server is not converting IP addresses to websites or website names or to IP addresses, and that could be the problem with your DNS server. So if a user can ping the router, and if you are ping but cannot reach websites, the issue is likely with DNS resolution. So converting from name to IP or from IP to name, or any other issues which could be with your DNS server. A technician needs to view recent security events on a Windows system. Which tool should they use? So what we need to do is to view recent security events on a Windows system. So on our Windows environment or operating system. Which tool should we use as a technician? Event Viewer, Device Manager, Disk Management, File Explorer, or Task Manager. And here the correct answer is Event Viewer, as the security log in the Event Viewer records login attempts, system changes, and other security related activities. A Windows computer is failing to apply group policies correctly. What should the technician try? Disable Windows Firewall, run gp update /force, clear the browser cache, increase the display resolution, or run check disk /r. What would you do? And here the correct answer would be run gp update /force, as this command forces an immediate refresh of a group policy settings. A user is experiencing slow browsing speed but has strong Wi-Fi signal. So he has a strong Wi-Fi signal, however his browsing is slow. His internet or connection to websites is very slow. What should the technician check first? Printer queue, Windows firewall settings, screen resolution, network congestion or high bandwidth usage, or the refresh rate of the monitor. And here the correct answer is network congestion, because that is the network issue, not the computer issue, and we should check for network congestion or high bandwidth usage, as high network traffic or excessive bandwidth use by other devices can slow down browsing speeds. A technician needs to determine a computer's IP address and default gateway. Which command should they use? So IP address and default gateway. And you should know, or actually for this exam I don't believe that you should know, but in general all computers which are in one local area network, for example in your home, they have only one gateway IP address. And to determine a computer's, your computer address and this gateway address, and gateway address is that IP address which is assigned, for example, to your router to reach out to the network, to internet, or to another network which you might be connected to, or to your router might be connected to. So gateway, there is only one IP address for all devices. For example, in your homes, that could be, for example, you have brother, sister, mother, and they would be using from one router internet, and their all devices, their mobile phones, their computers would be connected to that router, and that router would have this gateway address, which is that address from this side of the router, which allows you to connect or to reach out to the network or to the internet. So ipconfig, netstat, check disk, traceart, or msconfig. which would be the correct answer here. And here the correct answer is ipconfig. This is if you want to check everything on about your computer. You can check everything what you want: gateway, your IP, network, and so on and so forth. The ipconfig command displays the system current IP address, subnet mask, and default gateway. And there is much more information. It also displays your MAC address and much more if you are running this ipconfig command. Which command is used to repair corrupt system files in Windows? ipconfig/release, sfc/scan now, checkdisk/f, netstat-a, or format C:. So which command is used to repair corrupt system files in Windows? And now we are talking repair corrupt system files. And here you should know that with this command we are not repairing our files, our folders which we have created, like Word documents and images and whatever we have added there. Now we are talking that this command is used to repair corrupt system files. So system files are those files which make up your operating system. So these are operating system files. That's why they are called system files, not your files which are on your operating system. So which command you would use? And in this question, correct answer is sfc scan now, as you would use sfc scan now as a system file checker, which is sfc scans for and repairs corrupted Windows system files. So even if you think that your system files or there is some problems with your Windows operating system, you could run this command sfc/scan now, and that would repair system files of your operating system or in Windows. A technician needs to reset a forgotten local Windows password. What is the best method? So here always pay attention to all details. What we need to do, we need to reset forgotten, so there's forgotten Windows local Windows password. This is local, so which is on our computer, and what is the best method. And in this scenario you should also know about the Windows passwords. You can't really edit them after you have set this password, or you can't even retrieve them. You can't, if you have set Windows password for a user on your computer, you will, if you've forgotten it, or if a user have forgotten it, you will not be able to retrieve and show him that password, because that password was encrypted. The only way how you can do it is you can create a new password, and by deleting that old password, but you will not be able to see that password, what it was before and which user created. This is also just for information. So boot into the safe mode, change the password in BIOS, use a password reset disk, disable Windows Defender, or uninstall recent updates. And here use a password reset disk. Password reset disk allows users to recover access to their Windows account if they forgot their password. A user reports that their computer frequently crashes with a page fault in non-page area. This is all with underscores. Blue screen error. What is the most likely cause? Faulty RAM, low disk space, incorrect printer driver, weak Wi-Fi signal, or misconfigured firewall. Which could be the correct answer here? And here the correct answer for this error would be faulty RAM, as this BSOD or blue screen of death, BSOD stands for blue screen of death error, is commonly caused by defective or incompatible RAM modules. So for example, if you have swapped to another RAM module, or your RAM module for some reason stopped working or became unusable, you would get page fault in non-page area, blue screen error. A technician needs to check the system uptime and resource usage. Which tool should they use? So what we need to do, we need to check the system uptime and resource usage. So what would we do here? What tool we would use here? Device Manager, File Explorer, System Restore, Task Manager, or Disk Cleanup. And here the correct answer, you should also know about this, that we would use Task Manager, as Task Manager provides real-time system performance and monitoring, including uptime and resource usage. A user reports that their computer is displaying the error boot MGR is missing on startup. So you should also know some of these most common errors, which are also according to CompTIA A Core 2 exam objectives. And in this scenario, boot MGR is missing on startup. What should the technician do first? So their computer is displaying the error. So he has started probably his computer and he is getting this error on startup. What should the technician do first? Reinstall Windows. And when you are seeing reinstall Windows, this in 99% of cases this will not be the correct answer, guys, because reinstalling Windows pretty much means that you are resetting everything. So in 99 of questions which you will get, and if you will get the answer option reinstall Windows, this will not be the correct answer. This could happen only in the last state, in the last scenario, when Windows operating system becomes unusable, it is overhacked and things like that. So boot into recovery mode and run startup repair, replace the graphics card, increase the virtual memory, or disable Windows Firewall, which would be the correct answer here. And here, to resolve, or what should you do, is boot into recovery mode and run startup repair. If we click on it, running startup repair can fix boot related issues such as missing or corrupted boot MGR files.